I'm making this video to summarize some of the other videos that I've shown. To be specific, it was the last 3 videos that you might have seen. Some of the subscribers and the different people that have surfed through my channel have asked me to speak about basically to speak about the events and the phenomena concerning Comet ISON, and they want me to also give a biblical perspective to some extent about the book of Revelation. And so I will first state that there are a lot of people on YouTube, over at Twitter, Facebook, all sorts of places, in this day and age, in this world, and they are a spiritual type of people. Some of them are religious, some of them are not. They seek to find understanding that they can relate to, whether it is biblical, and if people are not spiritual, then they try to explain things through science. When I speak, I try and speak the language that all the different ones will hear and understand, that it is, some understanding or some viewpoint of mine that will help serve the individuals well that are looking for maybe some deeper meaning in this comet ISON and its pieces and particles. Now, I'm just going to start by saying that in the book of Revelation, first of all, I have seen these various different people claiming to be prophets, and they have talked about all these trumpets, and that they've been sounded already, and they're saying that different things have happened and taken place already. And I find that difficult to believe. I'll tell you why I find it difficult to believe, based on the book of Revelation, chapter 6. Before you get all the way to the 6th seal, which that 6th seal will, if you believe in the Bible, it will be the actual worldwide mega earthquake, the type of earthquake that has never happened on this earth before, because all of the foundations that hold up the mantle, that hold each continent where it is right now, and the sea level, in what the ratio of land to sea is, and the sea floor and the very tip tops of the mountains. When the foundations of the earth breaks, all of that in some degree will be rearranged. And so what I mean is that on the shorelines, the ocean could come up inland, rush as a tidal wave, a mega tidal wave, bigger than any tsunami that's ever been seen, can rush up over certain parts of the land on different parts of the continents. And so well before you get to that point where there's a 6th seal and there's something being opened and that earthquake takes place, there are 5 other seals that have to be opened first. Now, I'll tell you that after the great earthquake, it starts to speak about how objects start falling from heaven, and it looks like all the stars fell from heaven because so many things are falling on the earth. On throughout Revelation, on through the 7th and 8th chapter of Revelation, it talks about how a burning mountain is seen that hits the ocean and kills, a third of the ships, a third of all the living creatures that are in the ocean. And so when you think of a third, I mean, that's a huge number. I mean, it's huge. It's a huge number. And when you think about that, it's very, very extreme and very catastrophic. And so basically, before there's anything falling from the heavens with ISON, if indeed this is the fulfillment of Revelation 6, or if we are coming up to that point, first there has to be an earthquake before any of that starts to happen at any degree that's as damaging as what we see there in Revelations. Well before that, I believe in a God that will sometimes not necessarily give a sign, but there will be natural occurrences in the heavens that you will be able to see and recognize that something, you know, very dramatic and very, you know, fear-inspiring is happening in the heavens. I believe that before, and according to my visions and my spiritual beliefs, I believe that that sometime before the sixth seal is opened and there's a mega earthquake on our earth, if I look at it from a Revelation's point of view, I believe that first, before the first seal is opened, that when that seal is opened, and you know, for people to understand that we're moving into something that's very, you know, fear-inspiring, there will be thunders. The reason that I believe there'll be thunders is because I've seen in my vision these things. I've seen that isons particles bring a super electromagnetic, you know, grid that's basically comet dust that's stuck in our magnetic shield around our Earth. I've seen that it builds up a charge, that charge then is transferred into the Earth, into the vortexes of crystals and natural quartz-like structures and other stuff that's in the Earth's mantle, deep down into the Earth, and even into the core of the Earth. And that from that, the Earth sends all this energy back out in the form of volcanic activity, lightning bolts shooting out of the volcanoes in the ground, until there is a display of, you know, just many signs in the heavens that look like what the phenomena in the northern lights in the north looks like, and except for it looks like that all over the entire stratosphere. The whole sky is moving with colors and lightnings, and we will know that we're approaching the time where there is an earthquake. This is what I believe, and this is what I pray as well, so that people can have some warning system about what's coming, and I believe that people will. So well before you know, there's any, you know, sixth seal being opened and all that, there is of course the first 5 seals to be opened, and it will begin with the thunder and the forces. I feel like that is chosen for a reason, because it is the forces of natural energy that is returning to the Earth, because the Earth has been weak for many centuries, so far as I'm concerned. They've been taking all the gold out of the Earth, and that's one of the great conductors. And they've been breaking up the quartz, you know, centers and digging into it. And so these new elements that are coming from ISON are going to recharge the Earth in a sense and send it back to a more energetic energy signature, if you will. And that's a greater accelerated ionic positive charge that comes from the elements that the comet is depositing here, so that I believe that the Word of God may be fulfilled concerning Revelations, you know, chapter 6. So that is what I have to tell you for now, my friends. I will not go into the identity of the beast and the false prophet, just simply because people, again, are way too far ahead of you know, their interpretation of Revelations. The beast and the false prophet will not be in power or even being thought of until the end of this age, and a whole nother age will have passed by before they assume power. And that is therefore something that I don't feel that I need to go into at this time. If I do, it will be within the next couple of days, and I'll explain the reasons why this age will end when the thunder sounds, and that the next age that we'll go through, well, actually, I tell you what, this age, the very last part of the end of this age, from when the thunder sounds all the way until that earthquake. I believe that the earthquake or the thunder, either one, can be the interpretation of the end of this age, if you will, because there's going to be another age of you know, division and wars and chaos and this sort of thing that takes place, that shall last for a long time. And at the end of that age, the end where 2 prophets during that age as well are talking about God, then a beast will come up out of a an underground type city or abyss out from underneath the ocean, most likely the Atlantic. And the false prophet will come up out of a place that is most likely some of the chambers and abyss type areas that exist underneath the Euphrates, in the area where modern day Israel and the land of the Bedouins and Mount Sinai and those places are. So I don't feel like we are, I don't feel like we have even entered into the place where Revelation 6 has been fulfilled yet, but we may be on the verge of that. I do believe that spiritually, but until I see and have experienced the thunders, or even till any of us have survived those things, it would be speculating to say that Revelation 6 had been fulfilled in any way. So, as I say again, before you can go into the rest of Revelations and talking about trumpets and these various different things, you first have to see that the earthquake will occur after the thunders, and then the objects will be falling from the sky, and whatever they are, apparently they cause a lot of damage, and I will not be able to speak about anything in detail about the particular beast of Revelations, because I mean, even the King James version, the authorized version, refers to the angels in the 6th chapter, the first verse, I believe it is, or the first verse, where it talks about beasts or beings or however it is. Because what I'm trying to explain is that there are very many different types of creatures, beings, beasts. Some may even consider that mankind is a type of creature, but it is not time for all those things that people are jumping the gun about. There's still some time left to see all God fulfill Revelations, and so that will begin with the first seal whenever it is opened. I do not believe it to have been opened yet. I do not believe it to have been done yet, and certainly I know that the 6th seal has not been opened yet. I also know that there will be a great earthquake of worldwide catastrophe before a majority of objects start to strike the earth from the heavens. So remember that it could be time for that to start happening. Only God knows the time. I have seen what I've seen concerning ISON. I have seen what I've seen concerning its elements and what sorts of increase in natural disasters it will bring to us. I have not put a time or a date upon it, but I simply have told you that NASA has said that, and others have said that, the Earth will spin into this orbit where it is going into the trail of these pieces. It's supposed to happen within a couple of weeks, or a week or so. And so they were wrong. They were off by 3 days last time in their prediction of ISON. It came 3 days earlier. So we don't know when the times will be, and neither does NASA or any of the most smartest people in the world, or any of the most gifted people in the world. But God knows when the time is. In the meantime, time for us to continue to stay watchful and watch these signs, and just try to do the best we can, as far as I'm concerned. Is all God bless, and ZAH ZAH, the word and the way. I hope that this information has served you well, and I will make another video. See you. Until then. Tiger.